little bit sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I need to do that. Okay. Hello.
Oh, and we're going again.
We're doing it twice.
Yeah. What is this?
I was about to tell people, welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Maple.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And as most of you know, and if this is your first time, welcome. We'll try to be gentle. But this is our power hour of true crime, where we talk about fucked up shit done by fucked up people, usually for very fucked up reasons or none at all.
My story today is very on brand with no reason.
I was like, I just said we do anything. And you're like, on brand.
Yeah. It's always on brand.
It's anything.
It is. Anything and everything.
Perf.
Yeah.
So much has been happening.
Yes.
Like, I feel like life has been such an emotional roller coaster.
A whirlwind.
Joy and bliss.
Joy and, yeah,
I'm going to say that. I mean, we're so excited about so many things coming up. Obviously, my wedding is in 36 days. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm getting married.
What? You never mention it.
Never talk about it. Just got back from my bachelorette party, which was awesome.
We were actually supposed to record
during it. And we knew, well, we weren't supposed to. At the end of the day, like, we were like too loosey-goosey at this point.
It was like, a lofty goal. We knew it was a lofty goal. We knew it was very...
maybe.
Probably not doable.
Right.
I was very pessimistic. I was like, we're not going to do that, but it's cute to think.
I was more optimistic.
Yeah.
But then I was also the one doing the story, and I really just was not fully sober at any time. So I don't know what I was saying.
Me neither.
It was great. Yeah. And then it was sad that it was over. And then my friend Maria, she also got married, and I couldn't make it to her wedding because of my bachelorette and also the timing of just my vacation time for my honeymoon. Because, of course, me and her were like epic single gals forever in our friendship. We've been friends for probably like fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
And then we decided to get married in the same year within 2 months of each other. So annoying.
Yeah. You'll have that. I did that dragon. Well, Andrea Neal and I got married 3 weeks apart, and our wedding parties were very similar. So everyone was very excited. They had to be at 2 weddings 3 weeks apart.
Oh my gosh.
My date was stressful. First, and she came to me after she had a couple beers and was like, hey, do you care? I was like, just coordinate when your showers and stuff are. I don't care.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to be annoyed, but I did it first. So
right.
Yeah.
But she was just saying how like, oh, after this all happens, it's going to be really depressing. And I'm like, I'm not even ready for the depressing.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily
y'all are taking that trip.
Well, not only the honeymoon, of course, but whenever we get, like, I've thought about it when me and Travis, like, actually, like, pull in to Deer Valley into Maple Manor, which is now the Johnson Joint.
And I'm sitting on the Johnson Joint?
Yeah.
I will call it Maple Manor forever.
I hear you, but that would be weird if I always called you Weiniger.
True. Well, I met you as a Maple.
I know, but at the end of it, still.
Yeah.
If the rest of the world does not abide by the new change, that would be really weird.
Yes.
It's like, I'm just going to ignore your life change, and I'm just going to go my own route.
Yeah.
But no, I know that I'm just going to come home. We're going to be like, wow, okay, so.
When you find me on your porch because you've been gone for 16 days without my permission, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll be sitting there with just in a black veil crying.
Us just recording. It's going to be great. It'll be great. Anyway, I was just saying, so many things are changing. So much is happening. The podcast is going to be quite a treat when we get back. For all the people who don't know, when my wedding is finally over, that is taken. Not finally. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
But when June 9th occurs, or June 24th, whenever I'm actually back, or 27th, I'm not really sure of the date, but
it is not the 27th.
I was like 24th. Then we're going to be super focused on the podcast, and I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, me too. You know what else I'm excited about?
Your story.
My story today.
Tell me.
She's a little crazy. This is a little crazy, and she is a little crazy.
Oh, we were going to talk about the categories we've been Googling.
Oh, yeah. So, because I tripped and fell into this one. I've never heard of it one day in my life, and I was just looking up. I typed in true crime stories you've never heard of, and then I had to type in solved because it pulled up all these unsolved ones, and I can't stand those.
I hate cold.
They need to be solved, but I don't like to tell them on here. So we've been looking up some, and then I looked up boss murder stories, and I was like, I'm pretty sure our bosses listen, so I didn't want it to look like subliminally like
Well, we would never
disgruntled.
I was asked today if I could get away with murder.
Yeah.
They're like, real question. Somebody was picking my brain on podcasting, and they're like, "Do you think you could get away with murder?"
What'd you say?
I said yes.
Yeah.
I do think I can get away with murder, but I believe that it would require a change of a character change of behavior at least 6 months prior to. Like, I would have to start doing specific thing, like leaving my phone behind. Oh, I broke my watch. Oh, I'm not going to buy a new one. GPSing. Like, there's a technical IT related change of character that would have to happen 6 months prior to me then going on a killing spree.
Oh my gosh. Well, please don't.
And I was like, look, at the end of the day, the best way to get it, like, if you're going to, the only way anymore is a crime of opportunity.
Yeah.
You can't really kill somebody you know and try to get away with it.
Well, you could be like this girl and just not try to get away with it.
Those are always the most just fucking riveting when you're like, I'm just going to kill somebody and I'm not even going to try to hide it. Or I think in my psychoticness, thought somehow.
Or they're like,
where they're like, oh, well, I totally left, like, yeah, we were selling fruit on the black market.
What? I
fruit.
love how you say that.
On the black market. And that's why.
Oh, yeah. What story was that?
Your story. And it was like, oh, no, we were selling fruit on the black market. And that's why I killed them. I'm like, what? Ain't nobody wanted tomatoes that bad.
I can't handle it when you say.
Fruit?
Quit.
Okay. All right, tell me a story.
Do you want me to?
Please.
This is the story of the murder of Shad Thyrion by... I have to make eye contact when I say this name. This is her legal name. Taylor Schabusiness.
Got it.
Schabusiness. Miserous Schabusiness.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go with that, and I'm going to keep going. So you're just looking at me like, what the fuck are you about to say?
I don't know. Bad names happen.
This was... Okay.
Wait, she changed her name to that?
Her husband did. We'll keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, this isn't like, this is my great grandpa's. It just evolved from, it used to be The Business, and that was his nickname. And then, no. Like
okay, let's just go.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me more.
All right. So, sources, YouTube, because I had to learn how to pronounce these fucking names, because I read Schabusiness, and I was like, am I reading that right? Or am I having a stroke in installments? Like, I didn't know. And then Wikipedia, the New York Post, Inside Edition, Oxygen.com. And then I listened to an episode of Generation Y, the podcast, while I was getting ready. So,
getting ready for what?
For not today.
I'm aware.
I look a little rugged today. Bitch. I mean, you're not wrong. It's okay. I'll own it.
Dude, I literally look like I'm doing like housework at home. So I get it. I
look like I forgot I was supposed to work, and then at 7:59 I was like, fuck, and then I just drove in here. It's okay. I don't have any meetings, and you only have to see me. So Taylor Schabusiness was born on November 23rd, which happens to be my husband's birthday, in 1997 to Marla and Arturo Coronado in Chicago, Illinois. And there wasn't a ton on her upbringing, but I did see like a little bit when I read through the court documents. I know that they moved to Green Bay when she was in the 4th grade, and then her mom ended up passing away of cirrhosis of the liver and alcoholism in 2009.
Oof.
Yeah. In 7th grade, she received mental health professional attention for ADD, ADHD, and then other behavioral problems. They put her on medicine for that. So she was taking mood stabilizers, antidepressants, and an antipsychotic until she weaned herself off of them when she turned 18, which all of my medical schooling, which is 0, but from what I've read, you're not supposed to just stop.
Right.
Without being under professional care. So she went to public schools in Wisconsin, but she was expelled her senior year for fighting another student. So then she went down to Texas with her paternal grandparents to finish school there.
I'm like, she got expelled for fighting. I'm over here like thinking about my high school days where there were these girls that got like would fight every single week, and you were like just grateful for them to be gone for the 2-week suspension.
Right. Did you guys have in-school suspension? We did. Like where they would just make you sit in the building. Like it's not like you couldn't come in. They would like, oh, no, you're going to come here, but you have to go to that room. They called it ISLA. I don't know what that stood for.
Oh, I'm sure we did.
In school, something.
I mean, we had it on like Saturdays. Like Saturday mornings.
Ew,
that's it.
That would suck. Anyway, never went there. I was just curious.
Shocking.
Now, at some point, she made her way back up to Green Bay. The timeline's a little clear. Now, she started dating a man named Warren Chabot in 2017, but he legally changed his name to Warren Schabusiness. And that's where she got that dumbass name.
I would not.
Schabusiness. If that was Will's last name, I'd be like, you're going to take mine. Or we ain't doing this.
Travis is so passionate about like you taking, like this connection of family, blah, blah shit, which I'm in agreement. I'm not. But no. Like if you changed it to something so stupid, no.
Yeah. Schabusiness. Brooklyn Schabusiness.
No, thank you.
Okay. Well.
A guy that would change their last name to that would never interest me in any way, shape,
That's
or form.
very true.
So,
if
he
you
would have
met
never
somebody,
gotten a date with me.
Yeah, you meet somebody and you're like, "Oh, hi Warren, what's your last name?" "Oh, I got to go wash my hair." And I just walk away. No. Now, she took his name, like I said, when they got married in February of 2020. They had a child together in 2021. I think it was a little boy. But before that, in 2020, Warren Schabusiness, and I'm going to say that name as much as possible.
Good, it's not annoying to anyone.
Perfect. He was pulled over with 46 grams of meth, which clearly I don't do meth, never have, but that sounds like a lot. 46 grams sounds like a lot of meth to me. Is that a lot?
I literally just wanted to give Heather an inquisitive look to see how confused she would get by that look, and it worked.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
I have no fucking clue.
I don't know.
It sounds like a lot.
And doesn't it?
Sounds like a lot of pillows but that's also cocaine.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just saw on TV that's
aren't
kilos.
They like the same consistency? I don't
know.
Whatever.
It said it looked like crystals in the syringe that they found.
Huh.
So I don't.
I'm
of it's crystal.
Google what 46 grams look like.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a lot though. The baby ended up living with their grandparents, and because he went to prison for this, the baby went down there, and I think he doesn't get out until July of this year, actually. So, Taylor is just running around. Clearly, if her husband's getting arrested with that much meth, I would say she's not like a saint.
Yeah.
Just making an assumption.
I don't know.
I don't know. Taylor was no stranger to law enforcement, though. In June of 2020, she was out of it and knocked on a man's door. So he called the cops to do a welfare check. He's like, some chick is at my door. And then the cops, they come up to her and they're like, why? She said, why do I have to stop for you? And he's like, I'm a police officer. Do you know where you are? She goes, oh, I don't know. I'm on another planet right now. And looked at him like he was stupid. And she's like, I shot up earlier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she gets mad and she's like, why are you talking to me? So they're like bringing another officer. And then she tries to walk into traffic like 4 times, like just straight walk right out into traffic when they were whizzing by. And they like try to grab her like, ma'am, you can't do that. And then she flipped out and like kicked the shit out of them. So she got charged with resisting arrest and battery of a member of law enforcement. So she got 3 years probation. 2 months later, she ran a red light in front of a cop and almost hit a guy on a bike. And then just kept going.
Of course.
Yeah. And they finally stopped her. She was at her dad's apartment complex parking lot. There was meth and a needle in her car, and she got a shit ton of charges. And it was supposed to be more probation and jail, but they reduced it to house arrest. So.
I almost asked a stupid question.
It's okay.
It was stupid. And now
I want you to say it.
I know. I fucking hate that. I'm like, so how addictive is meth?
I mean, I'm assuming.
I just don't get why that would be truly addictive.
I mean, I'm assuming it's.
I get doing it so that you can like clean the house, right? Because that's what people are doing it for, right? It's
scrubbing
the floorboards.
What?
Isn't that why?
Yeah.
Do a little meth.
So my house is dirty. I don't
clean the house.
I'm just kidding. My house is dirty, but I also don't do meth.
I have questions.
I don't know, sis.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm just like, why do they keep shooting it up?
I heard that it is highly addictive, though. Don't know why. Don't know the science behind it, but I heard it is.
It's just rat poisoning, basically,
it's
right?
It's like battery acid and stuff.
Rat poisoning.
Is it?
Right. I think so.
Oh.
I don't know shit. I need to research meth and crack more because I've just had a lot of questions about it recently. What's in meth? I'm going to get arrested for what I've Googled.
Okay.
I go, how much is 46 ounces of meth images?
And then you're like, what's in meth?
What's in meth?
Okay, well, I'm going to keep going while you go down Meth Avenue.
Cool, thank you. Meth fact sheet.
While her man was in prison, Taylor started hanging out with a childhood friend, at the time 24-year-old Shad Thyrion. And they met in middle school, and then they became more than friends since she's running around acting wild and single because Mr. Schabusiness is in prison. Shad was described as a friendly guy, and everybody seemed to like him. He worked with his grandpa and his dad, I think, and he loved fishing. But this story in this case, is so crazy that his life gets overshadowed a lot, which unfortunately happens a lot whenever the aftermath and the act of the crime is so bad. The victim sometimes gets overshadowed.
Of course.
My apologies for that.
I'm going to overshadow you and just really quickly. This is not our moment to tell you how to make meth, but I do want to tell you what's in meth because we need to know.
Okay.
I just think we need to know. It's time for a couple of sassholes to finally know, to peel back the onion that is methadone.
Okay.
Or methamphetamine. Methamphetamine.
Methadone's what you used to get off of it, right?
I have no idea. Okay, so it is either ether, paint thinner, freon, acetone, anhydrous ammonia, iodine crystals, red phosphorus, drain cleaner, battery acid, and lithium, which is taken from the inside of batteries.
Shit. People put that in their bodies?
Yeah,
damn.
That's why I wanted to say it because I was like, we're talking about meth, and we've talked about meth so many times, and we literally live in.
But I've never thought about what's in it.
I know, me either, and that is why I needed to know. And today is the day that I have provided facts for you, and I'm done. I'm done.
Stay with my
working
stance.
on this podcast. I've done everything I've needed to do.
You've done it.
I've done it.
You've done it.
I mean, I have not done meth. I don't want anyone to just. You're like,
someone isolate that audio where she says, I say, you've done it, and she says, I've done it. Someone do that.
I have done it, but I have not done meth.
Send it to whatever our...
I am all for telling you the drugs I've tried, and that is not one of them.
Okay, so we don't know a lot about Shad. People liked him. We're going to keep going. Also, fun fact, Shad and Taylor had been banging it out. So there's that. Fun fact.
Okay, well, that makes kind of a lot of sense now.
Fun fact.
I don't know if it's a fun fact.
It's not, but at the time, right now in the timeline, it is. Okay. So on February 21st, 2022, Taylor goes and she picks up Shad at his mom's house, Tara Pakinich, and he lived there with her. And then she was with another friend, and they went to an apartment and they smoked weed, like big whoop. And they apparently did this with the friend. Then after the friend leaves, they injected themselves with trazodone, which is used to treat depression and anxiety, used in a normal setting.
Okay.
Then around 9:30 p.m. that night, they're like, okay, well, let's go back to your mom's house and bang it out. So they go back to the mom's house. Taylor said that they were into some kinky stuff and often use metal chains during sex for erotic fuck.
Wow. This was hot until you started reading it.
Yeah, let's go back to your mom's house and get the metal chains out.
I know. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
How are you? I guess mom's not home.
Yeah, no. Okay.
But then are you not afraid of them walking in? Like, this is kinky loud sex. This isn't like...
This sounds very quiet to me.
Just the chains. I'm over here thinking fucking Scrooge. I'm over
Come
here
on,
thinking
Ebenezer.
Fucking no. He's just slinging his chains around.
Oh my God.
Just loud as shit.
Okay,
like
now.
Mom's just banging on the, can you keep it down up there? Fuck.
God damn it. Take that padlock off of it at least. A very
Golly.
minimum. Okay, now we have to quit joking because it gets... Okay.
Okay.
So metal chains, erotic asphyxiation.
That's a hard word for
It
sure.
is. Thank you. So put a pin in that. Around 2 or 3 a.m., his mom, she had come home at some point and she had gotten woken up by a door slamming.
I was like, okay, she got home at 2 or 3 a.m. I was
No.
like, what the fuck is mom up to?
No, she had been home for a couple hours, but they were in the basement.
I was like, very many naughty bears in this home.
So she went to investigate because she's like, what? Who just slammed my door? And she saw a light on in the basement. She goes down there and she sees a bucket with a towel over it. She pulls the towel back and Shad's head's in there.
No.
Yeah. She screamed and ran upstairs to get her boyfriend, like Steve Hendricks, and she was yelling like, my son's head is in a bucket and he's dead ass asleep.
So it's hers. I was thinking Taylor's mom for some reason. That is so sad.
She goes down there. She's like, who's left the light on? Like, where did they go?
Well, yeah.
Because she
if
knew
I
that.
heard a slamming in the middle of the night anywhere,
Yeah.
I'd wake up.
And then she goes down there and she pulls the towel back and her son's fucking head is in there.
That's so sad.
I know. And then she goes and wakes up her boyfriend and he's like, what? No. Like he's asleep.
I would not be able to comprehend that.
Yeah. So he goes down there and he was quoted saying it looks like animal fur, and he was really confused. He thought she was just like disoriented because it was the middle of the night or something. So they call the police and they come to search, and they found his penis was also in the bucket. His torso was stuffed into a storage tote, and his remains were scattered in different boxes and containers in the basement. His literal organs were found around like a horror movie scavenger hunt, and his mom found all of that.
Jeez Louise.
Right. Like his poor mom. And his mom also knew that he was with Taylor. Like she saw him leave together. Like she picked him up. So she's like, go find that bitch. So they go to her house or her place, and she was
the cops.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they go over there. And it's Green Bay, snow on the ground. They see bloody footprints around her van.
Oh my god.
She's in her van, covered in dried blood. She's got a cut on her hand. She got scratches all up and down her arm. And she said, oh, these are self-inflicted. Like I did this. But then they're like, okay, get out. And then they go to put the cuffs on her. She's got dry blood on her hands. They look in, there's a box in there. It's actually a crock pot box. And when they open it, 2 of his limbs were in there, in the box, in her van.
What kind of crock pot box is that, dude? None of my limbs are going to fit in a crock pot box.
Yeah. But like,
I think that's what we really need to take away from this story is how were limbs fitting in a crock pot? But I'm asking.
I don't know if it's one of those triple crock pots where it's like 3 on 1.
Okay.
I don't know. In some places it just said box. But one of the things I read said crock pot, and I knew that you would,
let it be.
Of course, rip that out of everything.
Because I can't help but like all of this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
How Shadub? What was the last name?
Not Shadubi. Schabusiness. I'm going to show you a photo of her.
I want to see it so bad.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you a picture really quick.
Because I can't.
Okay, so that's Shad.
God.
That's Shad, and then that's her.
Shad looks like his name shouldn't be a Shad. I thought that he was going to be of Indian descent, to be honest with you.
This was her before she got...
Because he looks like just a super chill, sweet guy.
Yeah, I really liked him.
He looks like... He doesn't look like he does meth, but he definitely looks like he's into some pot.
Yeah. And then that was her before she got arrested.
And she's pretty hot.
I mean...
Like, I would say she's a...
Schabusiness.
I can see why he was trying to give her the Schabusiness.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Back to the van, right?
But she also looks like a bitch that would definitely take the last name Schabusiness.
100%.
100%.
Like, she would now try to start a rap career or be an influencer with that name. Like, that's how I feel. Okay, so when we're back at the van, they put the cuffs on her, and then they're like, where'd all this blood come from? And she's like, that's a good question. Like, it's not a big deal at all. Acts like it's normal. They take her in for questioning, and then I watched some of the interrogation, and it's wild. Like, it's online, so you can see it.
Ooh, I love those.
Like, it's nutso.
Is she on the meth skis then?
I mean, you would think so. Like
because they take her in front. Did she have dry blood on her hands?
Yeah, she was still covered in it.
Oh my god! So I hate when you do shit like this because
I got photos for you.
I just want to look.
I know. I have videos for you to see too later, so I'll show you.
I'm annoyed.
Okay, so she tells him all about the meth, about the trazodone. Then she says they went back to his mom's basement and they had sex with their metal chains, right? She claims that she blacked out and went like bananas during sex, and then she just started strangling him by accident. So puts the chains around his neck and then she gets caught up and starts strangling him. But then she says she enjoyed choking him, even though he was coughing up blood and turning purple, and she would not stop.
That's so scary.
Right?
It's one thing, like, from all just the research, and it's one thing, like, to be in a horrible fight for your life.
Yeah.
Like, and you know that it's coming, and, like, you're just in a terrible fit of just terror. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing when you think it's
Like consensual, kinky fun.
Yes.
And then she just
and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's awful.
This is no longer fun and fuck. Like, let go. And you're probably still, a part of you is still thinking that they're not realizing they're killing you.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I personally, if it was a sex thing, I would not think, maybe I should stop screaming that so loud. I personally wouldn't think that the person wasn't going to stop. I would think that they didn't realize what they were doing.
Yeah. That's why they have anyway. But I see what you're saying. And that's like out of nowhere. She's like, oh, I like this and I don't know why. Yeah. Then she tells the cops that she dismembered his body and put it in all those boxes and buckets. She said later that she, quote, forgot them or was too lazy to take all of it with her. So she only took some of it. She even went into detail about how she used knives from his mom's kitchen and said the bread knife worked best because of the serrated blade. Now, keep in mind, while she's talking about this, she's just saying, like, then I went to Kroger, then I bought some bread. Not like, that's how she's talking.
Well, then yeah.
Yeah.
And that's usually how that happens.
But she did that with a bread knife, like, and then dumped the blood down the drain. Like, okay, I'll keep going. But
a bread knife.
Mm-hmm. They found it, too, so they know that's what she used. They found it in a bag
with
part of his body. So that had taken
her forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she said, one more time, she said they smoked weed. She did not say that they did meth.
She did, and she eventually admitted to it.
Okay. Yeah. Because I'm over here like, that is not a weed person's fairy tale.
Right.
I'm over here like, dude, I cannot do this, and it's squishy.
Right.
I'm out of here. I'm going to go, you know what would be good? A piece of bread.
Right. Yeah.
With some peanut butter.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Yeah. Then she told the cops too, like they should have fun trying to find all of him and that the knives she used were still in the basement. So she basically was like, you guys will have fun trying to find him, all of them, because she put him so many different places.
Because in her high mind, she was like, they won't find him if I put, like, was it a scavenger hunt?
Something, you're going to have a lot of questions because I did too during this.
This is like Satan's scavenger hunt.
Yeah. And then, like, she was like, oh, yeah, I forgot the head and all this crazy shit. So she said she used a bucket for his head and his penis because, quote, she wanted to save her favorite parts of him.
I'm going to break the microphone off of its base and I'm going to slam it into the ground.
His mom found
raging so bad right now.
She's a bit like this is not a normal human.
No.
And that's the questions that are going to come up, but it gets worse. This part about Shad.
Tell me how it gets worse. Possibly get worse.
It does. So she also told them, God, I don't even like reading this, that she sexually abused his body after his death for hours, performing oral sex and using sex toys. She also, there's a couple things that I read that said that she bathed with his blood down there, but I know that she dumped a bunch of it down the drain.
So you're telling me that she sucked a dead dick?
Mm-hmm.
Dead dick sucking?
Yeah.
Dude, it ain't even that much fun when they're alive.
Oh my God. Okay. So
I'm not okay.
I know. Well,
I'm not okay.
I'm not okay with any of this either. That's why I never even heard this story before. So.
How have we not heard this story?
I don't know. I have no clue because I was telling Will about it. He's like, "What do you stop? What?" I was like, "Yeah, I have to tell somebody, and I can't tell her till Friday, so I had to tell him early." Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So obviously she was charged because she was interrogated for like 7 hours, and you can watch all of it, but I didn't. I watched parts. She was charged with first-degree murder, intentional homicide, mutilation of a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault on March 1st, 2022, and her bond was set for $2 million cash. Obviously, she was a flight risk because of her family in Texas. And then 7 weeks prior to this, she was on probation with the ankle monitor. She was on that house arrest. That happened 7 weeks before this. And then records show that she removed her ankle monitor hours before she killed him. So she says, oh, I blacked out and I got paranoid because of the drugs. But like you took your ankle bracelet off.
And why didn't the cops come?
Like
if she took her ankle.
They had a warrant out. They were trying to find her.
I am annoyed.
Right?
If I was a Facebook status right now.
Brooklyn Maple is annoyed.
I am annoyed and I am frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed and frustrated.
Oh, yeah. No, obviously she's strung out and troubled. So in March, the judge ordered a psych evaluation to make sure she was competent because everything I fucking said.
Right.
Like I
understood.
Yes.
You don't have to.
Thank you. And on April 13th of 2022, they found her.
This is new.
This is 2022.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Did you comprehend that it was so recent?
No.
Yeah.
Though I did, because I looked at her photos and she had Snapchat.
Yeah.
So I did.
Yeah.
Because her Snapchat was a photo of her saying, Mrs. Schabusiness.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to retire.
Mrs. Schabusiness.
I'm going to have to retire from everything.
Okay. So on April 13th of 22, they found her competent. And her attorney's like, wait, no, do it again. Like, I need you to try that again. And the judge is like, okay. So on May 10th, they did another hearing with a second evaluation. They had different results, but Judge Thomas Walsh said, no, she's good. Let's go. 2 doctors are going to testify saying that she's okay. So we're going to keep going.
I wonder what they're doing whenever they're testifying that.
When they're, like what tests they're doing?
Yeah, like when...
I'll talk about one of them
for that, because like that's essentially what we were watching with Nefarious, right? Mm-hmm. Were they competent enough to stand trial?
Yeah.
And it's like you're supposed to be able to
tell,
to jump into someone's mind in a few hours and confirm.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Right. July 5th of 2022, Taylor entered a not guilty plea for everything based on reason of mental disease or defect. In September, Judge Walsh is like, let's get a third opinion and use that in the trial. And when it began, Taylor was laughing and smiling a ton to the point where every single thing I read talks about her actions in the courtroom. Every single one. At one point, she even makes finger guns and fake shoots the judge.
See, and that's what I was talking to different people today about that shit. And it's like, there's so many times when what people forget is public opinion and how you act. You can be in whatever environment you want to be in, but if you're laughing and joking, it shows that you do not care and that you don't have any remorse. And so many people go into these trials, the Menendez brothers, they think they're giving a strong look, like that they're showing confidence, and really it's showing that you're manipulative and that you're, people do not. The only thing you should be doing whenever you go into these environments is look fucking remorseful.
Yeah,
Lindsay Lohan, that shit after her DUI, man, cry.
Right. She, like I said, she made finger guns and fake shot the judge.
Well, obviously she's not going to Lindsay Lohan cry.
Yeah,
Heather.
but like you don't like. Okay, so her defense attorney Quinn Jolly, which I love that name, Quinn Jolly, it's super cute. He was like, "Can we please? We need one more evaluation. Like she's not acting right. She wasn't cooperating. She'd been on suicide watch, which means solitary confinement. So he hadn't even been able to meet with her for 2 months because you can't have visitors if you're in solitary confinement." So he's like, she's not helping me.
So that's not suicide watch.
Well, that's what they said.
I know, that feels like the exact opposite.
Right.
They're like, you're on suicide watch because we locked you in a room where no one could.
And that's probably where they put you in with like nothing.
But that fucks you up even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely not condoning it, but you can't even see anybody either.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it should be
if
medically.
I was on suicide watch because I was on the brink, I would hope my loved ones could come in and make sure I was okay. But I also didn't chop up somebody.
I mean,
there's that.
Okay. So another evaluation is ordered on November 1st. And somehow, again, they're like, oh, she's good. I question that anyway. I mean, I know she was on drugs at the time, but obviously she's not doing drugs in jail. So something is... I just feel like there's other solutions than just doing this, even though what she did was terrible. Her attorneys are like, okay, really? Just do one more. And he's like, no, we're going to go. Like, we're going.
Yes, we're not doing this
like,
all day long.
Yeah, we're going to go on March 6th in 2023. This is so recent. That's when they were supposed to do it. He was like
just a year ago.
Yeah. He said, okay, I'll let you plead her case. You guys can go ahead and plead your case about her competency, and allow the psychiatrist who said she could move forward state his findings in court. Now, during one of the little hearings for the trial, Taylor flipped her shit and attacked Quinn Jolly, her lawyer, and she had to get tackled in court. Her lawyer. There's a video of it online.
Was she just trying to act crazy?
That's the question. A lot of people question it, whether she's putting on an act or not. But I mean, you can't just cut someone up with a bread knife and, you know what I mean, and do all that.
Just get away with it because you're like, I did drugs.
Right, yeah. So Quentin is like, yeah, fuck this. Like, her lawyer's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And he removed himself from the case. And she got reassigned a new attorney, Christopher Freilich. Like, could you imagine having to walk in as a lawyer and being like, oh, yeah, I'll represent? No, I would quit and be like, cool, I'm going to go back to school, go to University of Phoenix, become a graphic design student. Like,
yeah,
that's
after 8 years.
After all that law school.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, fuck that shit. So Christopher comes in. He's like, hey, Judge Walsh, do you, how about since you saw my client attack her former attorney, I really don't think that you should be on this case anymore. Like, you saw her act out, so you're going to hold that against her. And he's like, that's cute. I'm going to stay anyway. And, like, it's hard. I still can't get over the fact, like, all the videos, I can't tell whether she's acting. I cannot. I've watched a bunch of them, and I can't. And it's like, is that an act, or are you really, like, not competent? It's hard to tell. And then the defense is like, hey, she was drugged out when she was interrogated, so we need to throw all that out. So the judge sat there and he watched all of it, all 7 hours. And Judge Walsh is like, nope, she waived her Miranda rights in it and she answered questions normally. She was fine. She knew, she answered like who she was, where, like, all the normal questions they use as like a baseline. Mm-hmm. She answered all that. So he's like, nope. And she wasn't confused at all. And she ended up getting, like, at this point, 4 or 5, I lost count, of the competency evaluations before the trial even began. So they kept filing motions and doing all that, and it was a very long road to even get to the fucking trial. When the psychiatrist got up on the stand, she said that Taylor, and she's one of the ones that did one of the evaluations, she said Taylor threw a fucking chair at her, and then she thought Jeffrey Dahmer was hot. Like, she Googled, like, Jeffrey Dahmer walking into court, Jeffrey Dahmer's butt. Like,
why was she Googling? How was she Googling?
Like, before, like, when they got her, I heard that on the podcast today, like, when they got her cell phone and stuff, that they saw, like, her Googles. Yeah. So she told the psychiatrist that, Jeffrey Dahmer's hot.
Whenever the Dahmer show came out.
Yeah. So, but the press got a hold of that. So some of the press called her.
And such a waste.
Yeah.
That's a waste of a fucking piece of information.
Oh, yeah. But they dubbed her Lady Dahmer, even though, like, poor Chad, she didn't do any of that stuff, but just because she Googled and said he was hot.
I mean, at the end of the day, she did actually do what Dahmer did. She just didn't eat him. Yeah. But she disposed of him in a basement, did all the exact same things as Dahmer did. So
yeah. And finally, on July 21st of 23, her real trial finally started. And it had 2 phases. The first one was to see if she was guilty or not. And then the other one was basically to see if she had a mental defect or disease. So the prosecutor's like, look, she murdered Shad Thyrion during sex and admitted it and liked it. And look at the choices that she made before and after. And the defense is like, no, it's not that simple. But, I mean, obviously, that's their job. They're supposed to do that. The jury heard all the details, including the body cam footage of the responding police officers. Could you imagine, like, when they walked down into the basement? Like, they had to watch all that. No. They even played the 911 call from his mom, which is so sad. And the 911 operator is like, ma'am, are you hallucinating? Because it's 3 a.m. and she's saying her son's head is in a bucket, and the ladies, they obviously think the mom's like hallucinating. The prosecution also played on the Dahmer comment a lot, and they wanted the jury to focus on him being her boyfriend in her head, basically.
So dumb.
Yeah, because like they were insinuating that's because of what she did in her head or whatever.
I mean, it could have, like, at the end of the day, yes. Yeah. It could have been, like, we've done the Scream murders, like people who want to do fucked up shit. And it could have driven it. The show could have driven it. Like, anything could have. I don't know when the show came out, but I feel like it was 2 years ago. Yeah. And she could have been talking about literally the actor who played Dahmer. Yeah. And he, like...
But they latched onto that and put that in
it's one thing if they had watched the movie and there's evidence that they streamed the show or something. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get it.
I'm just like, I feel like they're grabbing it because it's sensational.
Yes.
And that's it.
I do too. And the whole trial was...
And why would she... Okay,
no,
I'm
keep
not
going.
Done. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now that I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, so you're saying that Dahmer is her boyfriend, a gay man? Like,
yeah, that's...
How so stupid of media. Yeah. You're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, ooh, it's Dahmer, it's Dahmer's girlfriend. Oh, Dahmer wanted dick in his ass. Right. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case.
Yeah, he's not buying what she's selling. That's for sure.
I want to hit faces.
Yeah.
I want to hit faces with fists.
Yes. Use your
I want
fist.
a face-fist combo.
Catch these hands. Now, like I said, it was the whole trial. All this shit was a circus because it's taken all this just to get here. Taylor, like during the trial, like I said, then she started the real trial. She started like laughing harder. She would smile, weird shit. Like she fell asleep. Like they were talking about her killing somebody, and she literally just fell asleep at the thing.
You are crazy.
Okay, July 26th, phase 1 is done. The jury shockingly found her guilty on all 3 charges. They tried to get the sexual abuse charge thrown out because in Wisconsin they were saying like, well, he was already passed away whenever she did that. But the judge was like, no, we're fucking keeping that on there. But they tried to get that thrown out. It took him 30 minutes to.
I wonder why.
Right, I know. Okay, phase 2 was to determine whether or not she had a mental defect when she had killed Shad. Her defense team decided it would be a good idea to bring her father in to testify on her behalf as a character witness, right? He was incarcerated at the time.
Oh my God. Why is everyone in jail?
So he comes in, but he comes in. They bring him in, shackles, the whole, what are they called? Jumpsuit shit.
Yeah.
Prison clothes. I can't.
It's a jumpsuit.
Yeah,
Prison
I'm like, why
jumpsuit.
can't I think of the fucking word? But they bring him in like that. But he was arrested and in prison for second-degree assault of a child. So he was in jail for sexually abusing a child under 16 that was living with him. So not a good look for a character witness. Let's just say that. They didn't tell them they didn't tell the jury what he was arrested for, but he still comes in shackles and everything. And he's like, my daughter's a good person. Like, okay.
Oh my! And then so her dad's in prison. Her husband was in prison.
Mr. Schabusiness got the Schabusiness
for
meth.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes, because we haven't talked about meth.
Because this has not been about meth.
That's right. We're switching gears.
Meth does not murder people. People murder people.
That's right. Okay, but this was apparently a shit show and it backfired hardcore. Like it didn't seem like they coached him because you know how like their defense usually coach people and stuff. Yeah, they pretty much
part of it.
Pretty much didn't. He starts out okay. Like
I guess they didn't get to coach him in jail.
I don't know who fucking knows, but you're probably right.
I'm like, we're gonna not let him have this free time,
or at least like a minute. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure they don't give you that.
You're probably right.
I don't feel like correct. I have an assumption on that one.
I mean,
especially we don't know what prison he was in.
Yeah, hopefully a bad one for what he fucking did.
I don't think there's any scenario where the attorney was like, I'm really trying to get her off. Let me drive all the way to this one and talk to her fucking pedophile dad.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Make sure he comes off squeaky clean.
Oh, yeah. So he comes in and at first it's okay. Like he comes in and he's like, she's a good kid. She just had a rough upbringing. Like her mom died. Then her brother had died a couple years before that in a motorcycle accident. And then he's a pedophile. Her husband's in prison. So he's kind of like, poor daughter, like he's supposed to do. And he talks about all her issues. Then he also seems like he's not taking the situation seriously.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's basically like, it's the outcome of her life.
He's kind of like trying to be cute. Though, like he's putting on a show and not taking the fact that Shad was murdered,
killed someone.
Yeah, he even says "Go Bears" to her on the stand, and he's like winking and smiling at his daughter.
Hasn't seen her in forever.
That's right. So like everyone is like, a man is dead, and you're up there saying "Go Bears." Like, stop trying to be cute and funny, you pedophile. That's pretty much like it kind of turned him off. He also
you mean a pedophile giving a character witness wasn't great?
Saying a football handcuffs? Reference, yeah,
cute, yeah,
yeah. So then he also made the mistake because Judge Walsh is also like at this point probably like, I'm so fucking tired of this case. It's been dragging on for this long, and he said the system failed my daughter, which got under the judge's skin so bad because he's like, are you kidding me?
I am moving microphones.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
Yeah.
How the
So
fuck?
instead of taking responsibility.
Tell me how. I'm about to throw something.
Yeah.
Tell me how the system failed her. I want to know right now. Because her dad was a pedophile and went to jail.
Yeah.
Because her mother died out of an instance that has nothing to do with her, along with her brother.
Yeah.
Neither of these had anything to do with the system.
Yeah. I know.
And then her husband went to jail for his own drug addiction.
Yeah.
And she married someone with a drug addiction.
Yes.
And also
She
played
blames
into her own drug addiction. What
Yeah.
does anyone's drug addiction have to do with the system in the first place?
What you're saying right now is probably what was being said
so
in Judge
annoyed.
Walsh's head. But he also blamed. He said, "Well, without the drugs, she wouldn't have done that. Like if she wasn't on drugs." So then he
Yeah, but
he blamed everybody else.
I know, but
Yeah.
and I will say, like, drugs suck, but you choose to try the drug.
Yeah.
You choose to do it.
Yeah.
I chose to have my first cigarette and then fight smoking cigarettes for 12 years.
Right.
That was a choice.
Yeah.
You chose meth. Everyone knows it. And I say that, what was meth like? How addictive? Why is it addictive? Because it's an upper. But at the end of the day, everyone knows meth is addictive. That's why I never tried meth.
Yeah.
Like, you can say weed's addictive, whatever. Get off your high horse. It's still natural. It's still grown from the ground. Unlike the fucking rat poisoning and all the other
Right.
shit that we said.
Yeah.
And I keep saying rat poisoning, and I don't even think that's an ingredient after I just listed off. But one is made in a out of everything that kills you. Everything that kills you is put into meth.
Yeah.
And you chose it. And then
Yeah.
you had to go find it. Because guess what? You can't go to the grocery store or go to Walgreens or CVS and go buy meth.
Right.
I don't understand.
That's why.
That's like someone getting drunk and murdering somebody. And they'll be like, well, they were drunk. So the
Yeah.
system failed them.
Yeah.
What the?
The judge got really pissed off
I
when he
wonder why.
said that because especially having to hear a pedophile say that.
The system failed my daughter, who's
Be
a
like,
drug addicted murderer.
Yeah.
And I was
So-
touching little kids. I'm going to kill somebody.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to chill.
So the psychiatrist that she threw the chair at gets up there and is like, yeah, she is psychotic and she has hallucinations and she is bipolar. Like she kind of wanted the jury to take that into account. Like she does have mental challenges. So like the drugs probably mixed with that, and that's not a good look.
Combo, yeah.
But yeah, she wanted to make sure she said that. Like even though she did say she was competent, she still got up there. But she did say, all that stuff.
But at no point was she ever trying to get help.
But the two other doctors, it's funny they say that, said, well, she chose to do drugs. So by Wisconsin law, she's responsible because she chose to take drugs. No, like knowing that she had that.
Or she didn't know she had that.
Well, she had been on medicine and she told she had told people, like, I've been treated since middle school for mental illness.
What is it with people getting off of drugs? Like and what I mean by that is people, for everyone that's like cringing right now because I said that. But what I mean by that is, what is it with people getting off of prescription medication on their own without a doctor's supervision and doing it usually because they think they're fine now?
Yeah.
It's the drugs that
drugs
make them
you feel fine.
and they're
Yeah.
like, well, I'm fine now. So if I just stop taking the drugs and everything will be okay.
Yeah, you're prescribed them
it's
for a reason.
not.
So, yeah. Okay, so the other two doctors, like I said, were like, well, she chose to do it, and by Wisconsin law, that makes her responsible because she added drugs to that. But remember, she also dismembered him, cut her ankle monitor off, and apparently dumped his blood down the drain and trying to clean it up and showered with it. So, like, she took steps that you're not just going to black out and go into a rage. Like you did that before.
If you did that, you would have choked him late and then left.
Yeah,
you would have choked him,
not
strangled
slammed
him.
the door. They were like, but I don't know.
You would have strangled him and left.
Yeah,
been like, oh my gosh, I fucked up.
Yeah,
I took that too far. And even then, you could still. I'm pretty sure you could still get away with that. It would be manslaughter. It's like getting drunk and killing somebody, like not an intentional murder. Because people have done that.
Mm-hmm. On September 26, 2023, Taylor Schabusiness got life without parole for the murder, 90 months for the mutilation of a corpse, and 3 years for the sexual assault charge. Now, she was 25 years old at the time, and her lawyer was pissed, saying that he asked for a mistrial several times because of what Judge Walsh had seen. He was kind of politely telling him, I disagree with how harsh that you shouldn't have been the one to hand the sentence down.
Yeah.
He said it in a polite way.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but it doesn't matter. She still did it. At the end of the day, you're just mad that someone saw everything. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're like, because you saw everything, I don't think you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
What?
Oh. The judge asked Taylor if she had anything to say, and she said no. I want to show you a picture of her.
She said no.
Yeah. This was her attacking.
I saw
that. And then this was.
What did she do? Just beat him over the head with something?
She hit her arm, and then the bailiff. But look, this is what she looked. She had to wear a spit guard.
Yep. That's underwear on her face.
Her sentencing. That's
underwear on her face.
It does look like underwear, but that's a spit guard, and they made her wear that because of all of her outbursts. So she doesn't have anything to say at the end. And this is what Judge Walsh responds. He says, quote, "The offense in this case can't be overstated. In this case, you seem to run out of superlatives in describing what happened. This crime offends human decency. It offends human dignity. It offends the human community. It really does." Shad's dad made a statement saying that he would be willing to forgive Taylor. He said, "Everyone makes bad choices, maybe not to this extreme, but it does me no good to hate you." Her child is with Warren Schabusiness's parents, and I think he gets out of jail in July of this year.
He should never get out of jail.
Oof. But I did read online that somehow someone is making a Facebook post on his behalf, like he's standing by her still.
Oh, Warren. I was sorry. I was thinking her dad.
No, Mr. Schabusiness is making Facebook posts from jail, so they think he's like writing someone saying, "Put this on my Facebook page." He made one post that said, quote, "Baby boo, I love and pray for you every day. We will always be here for you because that's the Schabusiness way." Taylor Schabusiness will likely die in Taycheedah Correctional Facility in Wisconsin. And that is the sad story of the murder of Shad Thyrion by his lover, Taylor Schabusiness.
Okay, real quick.
Real quick, she says.
The fact that Warren is like, "It's cool, I was in jail, you did meth that got me in jail, and you decided to have sex with somebody else and then murder them, but I'm here for you."
Still.
And she's never going to get out of jail,
no.
as we've said, so it's not like you're going to get to have sex with her again.
Mm-mm.
So he says that because he's in jail. But when he gets out of jail, he will be plowing into his own meth-filled, crazy...
He might change his tune.
Skank.
He might get in someone else's Schabusiness.
Or maybe he has stopped wanting to do meth. I don't know. I just feel like if your last name is Schabusiness...
Legally. I cannot get over that.
You're going to probably continue to do drugs.
Consuela Banana Hammock from Friends.
I just don't feel like he's going to quit doing meth because his name is going to make him do meth. That's my scientific justification.
I mean, that name would make me want to do drugs.
And I feel so bad for that dude's mom.
Right?
And for how nice he was. Because he just has a nice face. I mean, you Google it, and for whatever reason, they give 3 photos. I swear, if it wasn't one of my favorite photos, I would be so fucking annoyed. But like, they grab those 3 photos, and for whatever reason, it's always 3 photos. Yeah. And it's like, did you just get that from their Snapchat? Like, where did you get the photo?
Oh, yeah.
And he just looked like a sweet, nice guy. It's actually like kind of, I wouldn't even say he looked like her. He didn't look like her type, but she obviously looked like his type. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she was
that
really
makes
hot.
sense.
She's really like curvy. Mm-hmm. You can definitely tell it was probably good in bed, you know. And I'm sure that was. He was like, "Whoo, I'm getting sexy time with sexy girl," and then she ends up doing that shit.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's super sad.
Yeah, and it's so fucked up. Like another thing is like. There were clearly mental illness. There was mental illness here. The drugs did not help, but she did something bad, and I feel like she should be in trouble for that. But I feel like she also could have went to a mental health facility that is meant for inmates who have that. Like,
so you're saying?
I'm just saying that could have been an option.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion.
You still agree with that after the like aggressive violence?
I don't know.
Did in front of people, the fact that she just fell asleep and didn't care, the fact that she obviously does not have any remorse for it. I don't think that's. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's hard because she's not going to get any treatment there. I'm not saying she deserves anything, but like. Okay,
so on that, I hear you, and you're like, because you're very much like, oh, we should try to resolve the issue, but it or help the person, and I get that. But I don't know. Like, that's our taxpayer money paying for her drugs to just try to keep her from assaulting people.
Yeah.
And when she chose to do meth and then mutilate and sexually abuse the body after.
Oh, yeah. I'm not discounting any of that.
Hide his insides throughout that. But we are.
But there's like there are mental health prison facilities. Like we're gonna have to pay for her anyway.
Yeah.
Put her in a different there could have been another avenue. Something is off too with her. Like, I know the drugs didn't help it, but she was also off of drugs for 2 years whenever she was doing all that shit in court. I don't think she's a good person. I don't agree with anything she did.
Yeah. That's a good point.
It's just interesting to think about. Like,
I just wonder what would.
I don't know if it would help.
This case, that's what I'm like.
It's not going to help. Like,
or would it? I don't know.
I don't know
if she
either.
was medicated, appropriately medicated, which that's going to be a whole different. Because even if there are those mental health prisons, like I wonder how many people are being like appropriately dosed and drugged. If they're just gonna, if the rest of her life is either her aggression, hatred, and rage in an environment where she can just pour gasoline on it, which is essentially what prison is, or is it her drugged up, walking back and forth, shuffling her feet to community bingo? Like, I don't know.
It's just an interesting thought to think about, because who knows. Right or wrong. Like, she needed to be punished one way or the other. She did something bad.
Did we have a long history of her mental health issues being highlighted prior to? I've had mental health issues, but there's no like, I never did anything. I never, no one walked in on me trying to cut my wrist or something. You know what I mean?
She was in a couple facilities when she was younger too. Like, I left some of it out. Like,
that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, was it because she was violent in school? Was she just acting out?
I don't know the specifics as to why.
Because it could also just have been her not being able to control her emotions. Like, we know that it was bipolar? Just like, do we know truly what it was prior to her getting into drugs? Because once she got into drugs, you fucked up your chemical balance anyway.
That's true, yeah.
So whatever version of you, the version that cut up a person...
Yeah.
And still sucked their dick, is not a person that can then stand trial and look normal, because you're not fucking normal anymore. You did that.
Exactly.
Now, what fed into that was meth, but what would have happened
if she had been...
If she would have just stayed... If she wouldn't have found Sheboygan and didn't do all the meth, and she just stayed on her meds.
Yeah, that's the question that I have.
Or would it even have mattered, because her dad was a pedophile?
Yeah, who knows?
Would you have ever gotten over it?
I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions in this. That was just an interesting
therapy.
That was an interesting viewpoint on it that I think could have been looked at a little bit as all. Because I mean, if you have to get 4 or 5 psych evaluations, like, that's like going. It's like when you Google until you find the right answer.
Exactly.
Kind of like that's how it looks to me.
I want the test
to me, who I know nothing about. Nothing.
It is true though. That's literally like it's the same thing with like the pork industry. You just keep paying different people to run the same tests until you get the right person to write the answers you want.
Right.
That's what we do in the United States. 100%.
That is true.
So I'm just curious. In this situation where you lose your mom, your dad's a pedophile, your brother dies, in a normal environment, someone would have forced, and with mental health issues, someone would have forced some therapy. A friend. A true friend that was in a better environment would have been like, hey,
you're going through some shit.
We're going to have to sit down. Here's some people. I think you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Especially at her age.
Yeah, she's young.
But she didn't have her parents.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe she could have been saved.
Who knows? But either way, is Shad died, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
So there's that. And
I don't know that the system failed her. I think her the family failed.
I don't think they did either. I don't think the system did either. That's why the judge got so pissed off when his dad or her dad said that, because he was literally blaming every single person but himself.
Which
and
her,
like her mom died when she was young. So
yeah. How did she die again?
Cirrhosis of the liver and alcoholism.
Alcoholism and a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty fucked from day one. All right, I'll give a little bit more empathy if I must, but I'm sure Shad's family and Shad has no empathy to give.
I know. Ugh. Anyway. Okay. Rate, review, subscribe to more meth episodes, I guess.
I don't know. It is important to subscribe.
Yeah, please do. Just hit the button. It's free. You can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
Yes, please.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?